Okay, let me talk about how I set this scene up. I took a corridor from I think it's the environments folder, and I used the he maker and the she maker. I did it to create the closest analogs I could of the um, Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones characters in Men in Black, which is not very close, but it's close enough. So and then I set up some camera angles and some routines and various other stuff. And what it is that um, the camera tracks along with them on a tight shot and then swings around as they turn their corner and as they turn the corner here and then watches their backs. I put in some dialogue in the first part and didn't bother to do it in the second. So let's play it here and I'll show you what it does. Okay, a little jerky, but it gets the point across. So let's see some of the techniques I used here. First of all, for each of these guys, the he maker comes with a walk routine, which does a pretty good walk. Their legs move, their arms swing, but it doesn't move them as such. It just does the limb movement. So you have to put that together with a forward movement to get something a little more realistic moving. So I put together a walk forward routine that does that. And if we edit it here, show you what it looks like. Um, Basically, it tells the figure to walk so many meters in so many seconds, and it does the parallel limb swinging thing, which is built in, and also simply moves the character along. So that's back here in this first scene. The other thing I did was set up some camera viewpoints as dummy objects. The first part is called camera tight, and I basically did that by positioning the camera and then using these controls to drop a dummy object. And that I think is somewhere up here where I'm gesturing. And if you go back to the code for this scene, it moves backward at the same pace as they're walking forward. So it basically hovers in front of them. And let's play it again to show you. You can see the walls are moving backward, but we're keeping the same shot on these guys. Now, um, as we covered before, if you want to establish a number of camera angles, you can experiment with it and then drop a dummy and then position the camera from the viewpoint of the dummy, and you're good to go. The only problem is when I was at the corner here, the dummy I dropped was invisible, as they all are, so it was difficult to fine tune them. So what I did was put this thing, which I called the corner camera bird, and rather than an invisible dummy, I used the visible bird to set up where I want it to look from. So if we go to the quad view here, stand by, I'm going to pause the video while I find the thing. Okay, I found the bird and zoomed in on it. So here's the top view. And now I'll zoom out so that you can see the relative position. And I'll move so basically the bird is positioned to look down the corridor after they turn. And if we look over here, let's see if I can find it. Well, anyway, I initially used a human figure to position the camera, but since the human's coordinates are based at their feet so that you can position them on the ground, the viewpoint actually ended up at the individual's feet. And because it's natural for a bird to be up in the air, I just decided, okay, I'll use a bird. But the point is I had to elevate the character to get a proper camera view. And I experimented with that. And just in case you've lost track what I'm talking about here, when the pair of figures get to the corner, the camera is set to the point of the view of the bird as they turn the corner. All right, so I have this one camera view, which is the dummy I dropped, called camera tight. As you can see, the default camera position is where I can get a good view of the scene. I just left it there so that I could manipulate things. And what the first command does is set the point of view of the camera to the tight angle in 0 seconds. I set the duration to 0 so that it would arrive there instantly. And you can see that when I run the program, it starts out from that point of view right away. The final thing I did was the turning the corner trick. And to do that, I have an invisible dummy object right at the corner here. What I did was position an object at that corner and then use this thing, drop dummy at selected object, to drop the dummy, which is invisible. But this thing, corner 1, is an invisible dummy object standing right at the corner here. And this helps these figures turn the corner. Let's go to that routine that I added. So basically for each of these figures I had to add these routines twice. So over here for Mr. Jones, I have a turn corner routine, a method, and let's edit that. Click on edit here, and once again the arguments for turn corner is as seen by, which we give the object that provides the pivot point for the corner here, the amount of turn, which is in this case 1/4 turn or 0.25, and the direction, which would be right or left, in this case left. So as you see, when we actually call it, we turn well, I haven't showed you where it gets called yet. Let's go back to where it gets called. This is the corner turning thing. So the as seen by, which is the pivot point, and if you remember how we use as seen by to make things turn, go back and review that. So that's that corner object. We turn 1/4, we take 2 seconds, and we turn to the left. And to go back and see how that's done, Jones turns in the designated direction, which is passed as a parameter, the number of revolutions, which is 1/4, which is also passed as a parameter, as seen by, which is the pivot object, which is passed as a parameter, and the duration, which is 2 seconds. And it's the same for the turn as for the walking part. Now I'm getting up on the 10-minute limit of YouTube video, so I'll just run this for you one more time and then I'll post it, and you can ask me any questions in class tomorrow. So I hope this gave you a few ideas.